Imagine that within the next hour, the usual course of events could undergo radical changes. What everyone strives for, whether it's financial well-being, romantic relationships, new horizons, or long-awaited recovery, could become a reality, not sometime in the distant future, but here and now. This isn't just a simple assumption or baseless hope, but a carefully calibrated algorithm that has already helped thousands of people quickly bring their desires to life. Most people spend their lives in agonizing anticipation, the right age, the ideal moment, a favorable set of circumstances. But what if waiting isn't a mandatory condition at all? What if the ability to create what you want is already inherent in each of us, and only a slight adjustment is required to activate it? This isn't about fruitless waiting or self-deception, not about the monotonous repetition of affirmations while secretly tormented by doubts about their effectiveness. It's about something much more effective. A method that has repeatedly proven its effectiveness in practice. People who have mastered this method have observed results in minutes, not months or years. There is a specific reason why some people easily attract success, love, and financial breakthroughs, while others struggle unsuccessfully for years just to survive. It's not about luck or the universe being selective. It's simply that the former understands something fundamental about how reality works. When a person places an order online with next-day delivery, they don't agonize with doubts and anxiety or spend hours waiting for the courier. They don't doubt the success of the transaction, bombard customer support with questions, or refresh the tracking page every minute hoping to see the coveted delivered status. They are simply confident that the item will be there on time. It is this unwavering confidence that is the key to successful manifestation. Unfortunately, many people allow their doubts and fears to take over, constantly asking, when will it happen? It is this expectation that becomes the main obstacle to realizing their plans. The secret isn't in passive waiting, but in active knowledge, in complete confidence in success. It's about synchronizing your energy with the desired result to such an extent that reality itself has no choice but to adapt to the given vibrations. For a long time, the process of manifestation seemed incredibly complex, requiring years of study and practice. However, the truth is that it's not a skill that needs to be honed for years. It's a process that starts instantly, the moment a person changes their internal state, switching from doubt to confidence. There is a certain way to achieve this inner transformation, and once it is mastered, everything will start happening faster and more efficiently than ever before. The era of radical change has arrived. It doesn't matter when these words reach the reader, because the moment for transformation is always favorable. Being here and now is not an accident, but a pattern. What you desire is already striving to meet you, and today is the day to assert your rights to it. The human mind is like a navigator in a car. As soon as the final goal is set, the system instantly calculates the optimal route and methodically directs you to it, step by step, without questioning the attainability of the destination, but simply following the given coordinates. If there is a wrong turn, the system promptly rebuilds the route. You need to start aligning your thoughts, actions, and perceptions with the desired result. The main thing is to believe in the process and steadily focus on the final goal. The human mind functions similarly. If there is a belief that it will take years to achieve something, the mind organizes all thoughts, actions, and even external circumstances so that it actually takes that long. It's not about luck or effort, but about the specifics of brain programming. Most people, without realizing it, set limits on the speed of achieving what they want. They believe that success requires years of struggle, relationships develop slowly, and financial independence is achieved only after decades of hard work. But all this is just a mental setting, nothing more. The truth is that reality adjusts to the level of confidence. If there is a belief that something will take years, it will. If there is confidence that it can happen in a few days, it will. According to scientists, the human brain is a kind of chronicle of past years. Often people continue to live, guided by the same thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that they formed long ago. However, Once an individual moves beyond repeating the past and embarks on a new existence, limitless possibilities open up. Quantum physics asserts that all potential realities already exist, and among them is the version of the person who possesses everything desired. This version is simply waiting for the moment when a connection is established. An example of this can be seen in cases of miraculous healing. Often doctors predict a lengthy recovery period, but patients recover much faster. This phenomenon is explained by the fact that healing depends not so much on time as on faith, inner energy, and unwavering confidence. There are known studies where patients, taking a placebo and believing in its miraculous power, demonstrated physiological changes similar to those observed when taking real medication. The expectations of the mind can influence physical reality. This same principle applies to the process of manifesting desires. Time is not an immutable law when it comes to creation. It is flexible, pliable, and adapts to the level of confidence a person has in achieving their goal. Surely everyone has observed people who achieve incredible results with astonishing ease. The secret to their success lies not in luck, but in absolute confidence in themselves and their abilities. They do not limit their ambitions with time frames, but decide to act here and now. Thanks to their unwavering faith, reality seems to adapt to their desires. History knows many examples of people who have accomplished the impossible simply by refusing to accept generally accepted limitations. Consider, for example, those who suddenly get their dream job within days of firmly deciding to change their field, or athletes who, against doctors' predictions, rapidly recover from severe injuries, or people who meet their love at the very moment they stop, desperately searching for it. All these events happen not by chance but according to a clear plan. The past has no power over the future unless a person allows it to. The fact that it used to take years to achieve a goal does not mean that it will take the same amount of time this time. The degree of a person's conviction in success is crucial to the speed with which the desired outcome is realized. When an individual is absolutely sure that what is conceived will be realized, not sometime in the distant future but in the present moment, a transformation of their energy field occurs. They seem to move into the reality where the desired already exists. The essence of it all boils down to the fact that the most effective tool for manifestation is not a specific method, ritual, or sequence of actions, but a certain state of consciousness. It is an unwavering belief that the desired has already been fulfilled. This is not about waiting or striving, but about realization. At the moment when a person declares with complete certainty, "I am convinced," an instant restructuring of all circumstances occurs. By uttering this phrase, they perform an action with immense power. They move themselves into a state where the desired ceases to be merely a probability and becomes an accomplished fact. It is this key moment that is overlooked by most people striving for manifestation. They perceive their desires as something that needs to be achieved, as a goal somewhere in the future. However, the truth is that the unattainability of anything is only due to the fact that the mind has not yet perceived it as reality. Interaction with the quantum field is determined not so much by desires as by the essence of the person themselves. If an individual perceives themselves as a passive observer, waiting for favorable changes, then a state of waiting will prevail in their life. However, if they transform their self-awareness, identifying themselves with the one who already possesses the desired, then external reality will begin to transform in accordance with this new identity. The decisive moment is achieving absolute certainty. When a person stops languishing in anticipation and begins to know firmly that the desired is already their reality, the quantum field immediately adjusts to this frequency. But how to feel this all-consuming confidence? One can turn to experiences from one's own life, to something in which there is not the slightest doubt, for example, to knowing one's name. If someone suddenly doubts this, the person will not experience the slightest hesitation. They will not need to repeat affirmations or visualize their name to be convinced of its reality. They simply know. It is this level of faith that most people lack, as they subconsciously allow doubts. They utter phrases like, "I hope this happens," or "I really want this," but deep down they continue to doubt. This uncertainty is the main obstacle slowing down the manifestation process. The quantum field is a mirror of the inner world of a person. The stronger one's belief, the faster reality responds. If confidence is only 50%, the results will be half-hearted. But when confidence reaches 100%, changes happen instantly, transforming all of reality. Consider the profound significance of setting an hourly deadline for realizing a desire, which is not accidental but rooted in the workings of the human mind. When the horizon of expectation stretches to a year, logical thinking has ample room for doubt and analysis, questioning the very possibility of achieving the goal and considering obstacles along the way. This mental resistance becomes a brake on the path to success. However, shortening the deadline to 1 hour creates a time deficit for self-sabotage. The lack of opportunity for reflection and doubt shifts the focus to expectation, which plays a crucial role. This process can be compared to planting crops. Once the seeds are in the ground, the farmer does not check their growth daily. Instead, they trust the natural process, providing water, sunlight, and allowing nature to do its work. Manifesting a desire functions on a similar principle. The main problem is a lack of trust in this process. Many people, having sown the seed of their desire, succumb to anxiety and doubt, constantly wondering about its germination. This impatience disrupts the growth process. The key is to plant the intention with absolute confidence and allow it to develop. Like a farmer trusting the changing seasons, it is important to remember that the subconscious does not distinguish between imagination and reality. Deep conviction in something has a powerful effect on the human body, causing physiological reactions that mimic the reality of an event already completed. The brain actively synthesizes certain chemical compounds, the emotional background changes, and the human energy field aligns with the desired reality. This is why people prone to chronic stress and anxiety often attract more situations that provoke such negative experiences into their lives. They seem to be in the emotional grip of their own fears. However, having mastered the art of being in the emotional state corresponding to the fulfillment of desires, one finds that these desires are realized almost effortlessly. In this context, it is worth mentioning the state of flow, a unique psychological state when all elements of life seem to align perfectly. At such moments, one does not experience internal resistance, does not force events, but simply observes as everything happens easily and naturally. It is in this state that the manifestation of desire occurs with maximum speed. At the same time, most people, in their pursuit of goals, go to extremes. Some are overly diligent, trying to control every detail and forcibly advance events, while others, on the contrary, are inactive, passively waiting for change. The true secret lies in finding a balance between active striving and trust in the natural course of events. It is important to realize that what is desired is already predetermined, while remaining receptive to the various ways it can be realized. Imagine the exciting moment of launching a kite into the sky. If you overdo it, pulling the rope in an attempt to establish total control over every movement, the kite, like a sinking ship, will desperately fight the gusts of wind. However, if you find harmony, skillfully guiding it and allowing the air currents to carry it forward, it will soar into the sky without the slightest effort, obeying an invisible force. This principle underlies the manifestation of desires. When a person is deeply confident that the universe is already creating favorable circumstances, there is no need to force or constantly rethink what is happening. There is a natural synchronization with the flow of life, and all the elements of the puzzle miraculously fall into place. This is the golden mean, the balance between conscious intention and complete surrender to fate. A person sets the mechanism of their desire in motion with unwavering confidence and then allows the universe to guide them along the optimal path. But how to achieve this cherished level of trust? Unfortunately, most people are subconsciously programmed to expect long periods of time to achieve goals. They believe that success is the result of many years of effort, healing takes decades, and financial prosperity is the lot of only a select few. However, these limiting beliefs are just mental constructs that can be reprogrammed. In this context, the concept of neuroplasticity plays a key role. the brain's amazing ability to rewire itself and form new neural connections. The more often a person reinforces a particular belief, the stronger the corresponding neural pathway becomes in their brain. Therefore, if you constantly repeat to yourself that it takes a long time to achieve something, the brain literally creates a neural highway that embodies that belief. But as soon as you start cultivating the belief that what you want can happen quickly, the brain adapts to this new inspiring perspective, opening the door to rapid change. Pay attention to the champions of the sports arena. Their preparation is not limited to grueling physical exercises. They also pay close attention to training their minds. In their thoughts, they recreate pictures of future victories with such striking clarity that their brains react as if these achievements have already become a reality, activating the same neural circuits as during real physical exertion. That's why elite athletes demonstrate more rapid progress than their colleagues. They have already experienced triumph in their minds long before it was embodied in reality. This strategy is available to everyone. The more vividly you imagine yourself as a person for whom the desired is achieved effortlessly, the faster it becomes your reality. Imagine what would happen if you made a firm decision right now that your wish has already been fulfilled, not in the distant future, but in the present moment. As soon as you eliminate the slightest doubt, as soon as you stop languishing in anticipation and begin to live with confidence in what has been accomplished, you will give a powerful impetus to the realization process. The universe does not obey the laws of time, it responds to alignment. The only obstacle separating you from your aspirations is the degree of your certainty. Once you master this art, you will forever get rid of difficulties in the process of manifestation. Let's delve into an analysis that can radically change the view of the process of manifestation and achieving a state of flow. It is widely believed that manifestation comes down to active actions, repeating affirmations, lengthy visualization, or performing certain steps. However, the truth lies not so much in the efforts undertaken as in personal transformation, in who a person becomes in the process. In a state of absolute flow, the individual ceases to be waiting for the fulfillment of desires. He already feels like the possessor of the desired. In this state, there are no doubts, hesitations, or questions about the possibility of realizing the intended. The desired has already happened in the mind, which predetermines its appearance in reality. The full embodiment of a new state of being leads to the fact that the brain and body experience it as an already existing reality. This is not just a theoretical representation, but a deep neurological and energetic transformation that restructures the perception of reality. Imagine turning on the light in a room. A person does not wonder if the light bulb will light up, does not doubt the availability of electricity. He simply presses the switch, confident that the room will light up. This confidence is the key to understanding the mechanism of manifestation. Having reached such a level of conviction, desires become inevitable. They turn not into a subject of aspirations, but into an already activated reality that the universe only delivers. These are not just abstract concepts. There is ample evidence of how people achieve tangible results using this process, often in ways that seem impossible from a logical point of view. Let's consider how this concept is embodied in reality. The quantum field reacts not to our fleeting desires, but to the deep essence of our personality. Therefore, the transformation of one's own self becomes the most powerful tool for influencing the surrounding world. When a person radiates unwavering confidence, the universe, like a mirror, reflects this state. Take, for example, a situation where someone is striving for a goal that seems absolutely unattainable. All rational arguments and logical reasoning say that it is impossible to implement it. However, the quantum field does not obey the laws of logic. It operates with energy. As soon as an individual reaches a state of absolute certainty, events begin to unfold in unpredictable ways, opening up new horizons. Imagine a person dreaming of an ideal apartment in a city where the real estate market is oversaturated and there are practically no free options. Realtors unanimously claim that there are no offers, and most people would probably give up their dream, considering it impossible. But applying the described technique, a person ceases to focus on scarcity and begins to live in the feeling that he already possesses the desired space. He proclaims his confidence loud and clear, and suddenly a miracle occurs. An apartment unexpectedly becomes available, a hidden advertisement surfaces, or the right contact emerges leading directly to the goal. Circumstances shift as the person's energetic background changes, and it's not just about material possessions. This principle applies to relationships, career opportunities, and even profound, personal transformations that seem impossible. Scientific research convincingly demonstrates that the human brain doesn't draw a clear line between experienced events and vividly imagined ones. If a person holds a thought in their consciousness with sufficient emotional force, their body begins to perceive it as an already accomplished reality. As a result of this shift in energetic state, the surrounding physical world adjusts to the new vibration. To understand this phenomenon from a scientific perspective, it's necessary to examine how the brain functions in different states. When a person experiences doubt or hope, the areas of their brain responsible for fear and uncertainty are activated. In essence, they are fueling the absence of what they desire. However, when an individual immerses themselves in a state of complete confidence, the brain switches to a different mode of operation. Studies using advanced imaging techniques have shown that when a person has absolute faith in something, their brain activity undergoes significant changes. The centers responsible for doubt and fear are suppressed, and the brain begins to function as if the desired reality already exists. This is a truly fascinating discovery. This transformation isn't limited to the mental level. It extends to the electromagnetic field surrounding the person. Their energetic field sends signals into the quantum space, and the universe responds, reflecting all the projected vibrations. When the field is filled with doubts, hesitations, or anticipation, the quantum field attracts more of the same experiences. But when the energy radiates confidence, all aspects of reality begin to align with that frequency. There are people who seem to attract success, favorable opportunities, and amazing coincidences without visible effort. It seems they don't work harder than others, possess outstanding intelligence, or have exceptional luck. The secret to their success lies in their masterful command of the art of confidence. They live as if their dreams have already become reality, and, as a result, reality itself adjusts to their expectations, bringing the desired into existence. It's worth asking, what would happen if this principle were applied immediately, not postponed until later, but right now? What if you could become imbued with unwavering confidence that your cherished desire is already on its way to fulfillment? Even briefly maintaining this state can trigger a chain of events that surpass your wildest expectations. The moment expectation ceases and absolute certainty arises, a person becomes truly unstoppable. The transition to a state of absolute confidence entails striking changes not only in thinking but also throughout the entire body. Brain waves shift to a high-frequency gamma state, which is also observed in monks and experienced meditation masters who have dedicated years to training their minds. This isn't just a theoretical concept, it's a scientifically proven phenomenon. In this state, the brain functions with maximum efficiency, establishing rapid connections, processing information at an accelerated pace, and, most importantly, harmonizing all aspects of the personality with the desired outcome. Imagine something you're absolutely certain of, something so unshakable that not even a shadow of doubt arises, be it the sunrise, the relentless force of gravity keeping us on the Earth's surface, or your own name, which you pronounce without hesitation. When contemplating these things, the mind remains calm, the body relaxed, and the heart peaceful. Now imagine that this unwavering confidence can be transferred into the process of manifesting your desires. Instead of agonizing anticipation, passionate longing, or grueling striving, you enter a state where the result becomes inevitable, like the sunrise. This is the key difference between hope and knowledge, a difference that may seem small, but is actually of colossal significance. When there is only hope in the heart, there is always room for doubt, creating two parallel realities, one in which you experience success and another where you encounter failure. But when you reach a state of absolute certainty, all alternative paths close, like doors to the past. The only reality that remains is the one you have affirmed as true, and it is this confidence that shapes your physical reality. The astonishing discoveries of quantum physics irrefutably demonstrate that the very act of observation can transform the reality around us. The moment a person wholeheartedly, with unwavering faith, directs their focus toward a specific outcome, that outcome seems to anchor itself in the invisible field of possibilities, gaining increasing stability. This phenomenon is also reflected in the depths of human biology. The nervous system enters a state of remarkable harmony, and heart rate variability, that sensitive indicator of inner well-being, noticeably increases, attesting to the achievement of that desired inner balance. The level of stress hormones, those silent enemies of our body, on the contrary, noticeably decreases, allowing the body to leave the exhausting fight-or-flight mode. As a result, an ideal internal environment is created, like fertile soil, ready to nurture the seeds of manifestation. After all, it is no secret that stress and internal resistance are like powerful dams, blocking the vital energy needed to attract what is desired. However, there is one truly cornerstone. Once you have declared your confidence aloud, let it remain unshakable. This does not mean that you need to check your phone or email every minute in a feverish search for any sign confirming your expectations. Imagine a situation: you order a long-awaited package with express delivery for the next day. Would you constantly refresh the tracking page, tormented by doubts? Of course not. After all, you are absolutely sure that the package is already on its way and will definitely arrive on time. This same principle applies perfectly to the art of manifestation. Constant checking, on the contrary, indicates that deep down you are still in a state of doubt, not unwavering confidence. Often we see a picture where people, striving to realize their desires, inadvertently put a spoke in their own success, falling into an obsessive state. They declare their faith in the fulfillment of what they have conceived, but at the same time feverishly seek confirmation of their expectations, thereby subconsciously transmitting doubts about the final result to the universe. True faith does not need proof and does not generate obsession. A person who firmly knows that his dream will come true calmly continues to live his life, being absolutely sure that the desired is already on the way to realization. Another important aspect of successful manifestation is keeping the process secret. In this sacred period of unwavering confidence, it is extremely undesirable to share your plans with others. Why? Because by revealing your intentions, you run the risk of encountering other people's doubts, limiting beliefs, and negative energy that can undermine your confidence. Even the closest and most well-meaning people, without wishing to do so, can project their own fears onto other people's dreams, ask uncomfortable questions, express concerns, and make comments that, like tiny seeds, sow doubts in another person's mind. It is necessary to protect your energy and confidence, keeping them in a sacred connection between yourself and the universe. In the process of achieving what you want, there is no need for solitude or prolonged meditation. On the contrary, it is recommended to continue with your daily activities. True faith that the goal has already been achieved does not imply suspending life while waiting for its realization. A person continues to live, realizing that the process has already been launched. This principle can be compared to breathing. No one doubts the next breath, it will just happen. This knowledge is so natural that it does not require reflection. It is to this level of confidence that you should strive in the process of manifestation. The time to act has come. Do not put it off until tomorrow or wait for the perfect moment. It is necessary to apply this technique today, immersing yourself in a state of absolute confidence. Having chosen something significant or insignificant, you should declare it. Continuing your day, you need to remember that the universe is already taking care of the details. As soon as doubts disappear and waiting ceases, as soon as hope is replaced by knowledge, everything changes, accelerates, and comes together in the best possible way, exceeding all expectations. Human potential is truly limitless, but often people underestimate their own strength, succumbing to limitations imposed from the outside. The mind, inner energy, and unwavering self-confidence are the pillars on which personal reality is based, shaping it according to our desire, which, alas, remains incomprehensible to most. The purpose of a person is not to lead a miserable existence in a barren struggle, not to languish in endless anticipation of change, but to actively create, revealing their potential and boldly asserting their rights to a decent life. From now on, doubts, hesitations, and uncertainties should be abandoned once and for all, boldly striding through life with the awareness that the desired goal is already rushing to meet you. It is necessary to move forward with the firm conviction that all circumstances are unfolding in the best possible way. When a person exudes confidence, the universe cannot help but respond to this powerful message, providing every opportunity to achieve success.